My tenants chainsawed my great-grandparents' 100-year-old pine trees because they didn't match the bride's rustic bohemian wedding vibe. So my life has been an absolute chaos lately, and I need to vent. About 4 years ago, I inherited this house and the surrounding property from my grandparents when they passed away unexpectedly. The property includes 2 rental houses that my grandpa had been renting to the same 2 families for like forever. We're talking over 2 decades. Things were always pretty chill between everyone, even when I took over as the landlord. I'm only 31, and the dads of both families are in their 60s, so I can tell they're not thrilled about having someone my age and a woman as their landlord. But whatever. I've never raised their rent from what grandpa was charging, which is way below market now, to be honest. And whenever they have issues with the houses, I always get someone out there within 24 hours, sometimes even faster. So I thought we were cool, you know? Well, here's where things get nuts. The son from one family and the daughter from the other family have been dating for years and decided to get married this summer. The father of the bride, let's call him Vaughn, asked if they could have a block party wedding in our little cul-de-sac and decorate on my property too, since it's part of the neighborhood. I figured they meant like putting up lights, maybe some flowers or whatever, so I said sure, no problem. Big mistake. Yesterday morning, I woke up to the sound of freaking chainsaws. I ran outside in my pajamas to find Vaughn, the groom's dad, Jesse, and like 3 other guys cutting down the massive pine trees that have been on my property for literally 100 years. These trees were planted when my great-grandparents got married. The house was their wedding gift, and the trees were planted to commemorate it. My great-grandma would be turning 105 next month if she were still alive. These trees meant everything to our family. When I asked WTF they were doing, Brienne, the bride, came over all snippy saying the trees didn't fit her rustic boho aesthetic for the wedding photos, and her dad said they were taking care of it. I told them to stop immediately, and that I never gave permission for this. I said I was calling the police right away. They stopped while I was standing there, but as soon as I went inside to get my phone, they started up again. When I came back out and threatened to call the cops, Vaughn literally said, "We're your tenants. If you sue us, you're just suing yourself. Suck it up, Buttercup." I'm not gonna lie, I was scared. I'm 5 feet 4 inches, and there were 5 angry men with chainsaws. It was terrifying. I went back inside and called the police, who came out and gave them tickets, but they left, and these assholes started cutting again. Called the cops again, but they took forever to come back. I also called my friend Toby, who's an arborist, to come assess the damage, and called my insurance company too. Update. The day after everything went down, I called my friend Stella, who's been my plumber since I inherited the place. Asked her to help me out. She went to both houses pretending I'd called her last week about high water bills. While inspecting pipes and water heaters, she secretly took pictures of the damage they'd done inside. They trashed the places, and caught them on video making racist comments about me, I'm Filipino-American BTW, saying I needed to learn my place, and other disgusting stuff. After consulting with a lawyer, I had both families served with 7-day eviction notices. They lost their minds, throwing rocks at my house and screaming racial slurs. I've always been scared of angry racist white men twice my size, but watching them cry like babies while being arrested, caught on my security cameras, made me realize how pathetic they really are. Patricia, the bride, made this dramatic Facebook post about me, then stood up in church during prayer time begging for prayers because our landlord is evicting us because she's jealous I'm getting married. The pastor, who knew the real story, just calmly replied, "I thought she was evicting you because your father cut down her pine trees." Hardest game of try not to laugh I've ever played. Several church members came up to me after service to express support. According to Toby's assessment, the value of the trees alone, based on age, number destroyed, and one's damage beyond saving, is worth more than all 3 houses combined in our current market. Then my lawyer started talking about treble damages, and I nearly fainted. We're talking hundreds of thousands in damages. They did trash both rental houses out of spite. Luckily, I have enough savings that I can survive without rental income for a while, so I'm using this as an opportunity to renovate both places since they haven't been updated since like the 90s. The bride and groom still got married, but had to move their reception to the church basement. They also had to cancel their honeymoon to Costa Rica because all their money is going to legal fees now. I've already had the stumps removed and plan to plant new saplings next spring when things settle down. Renovations are going well, getting new appliances installed next week. Last I heard, Patricia and her husband moved in with his grandma in Tampa, while the rest of his family is renting a trailer on the other side of town. The court date is set for next month.